So I just left my job. Today was my last day. I'm moving to a different spot. That'll be, that will be the beginning of a new chapter for me. And I have bittersweet feelings about it because where I'm at, or I guess the job that I just left, was actually a pretty chill place. And the time just came that a different opportunity that a different opportunity came about that I couldn't pass up on. And it's a move in a direction that I've been meaning to go in. Um, actually, uh, I've been trying to channel the law of attraction and all that mumbo jumbo, tune my thinking to make this happen, which included doing the work of applying on Indeed a whole bunch of times. Actually, did I apply on Indeed? I've been sending a lot of applications out, countless applications. It's really hard to find a job, I want to say, I guess. But I think what this came down to was because I knew somebody and that person was able to put in a word to the manager about, like, hey, take a look at this guy's application. He's a good guy. He vouched for me. And I thank him for that. The last, the last, this company that I just left, that's how I got this job. It kind of seems like the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know, is actually very true, very valid. I'm living it right now. So, what was my experience this whole day knowing that this moment would come? Well, I woke up today thinking, all right, this is the last time I'm going to have to, do this, that, and the third, things that are specific to this job or that job, as I should say, past tense. And I thought about saying, announcing to the people that I deal with, like, hey, it's my last day. You won't see me again. But I decided they don't. I mean, honestly, they're not really gonna give a fuck. Sure, we exchange pleasantries. Hi, hey, how you doing? See you later. See you next time. Hope you have a good day. But that's all some small talk that we all engage in using the part of our brain that just operates automatically. So I treated today just like every other day and just did what I had to do. Turned in the truck, turned in my keys, and in my badge and all that, all my key cards and all that, and that was that. And I was going to um yeah, I didn't want to really do things any different. But so at the time that I made it back to the DC, It just so happened at that time, my manager just pulled in to clock in to work. And I was kind of thinking, you know, damn, if I just would have been a little bit faster, I wouldn't have to um, engage in small talk. Because, I mean, he's a cool guy. I'm not saying I'm avoiding him because he's, anybody negative. I'm really allergic to small talk, dude. I'm telling you, man. It hurts. But we had a nice little conversation nonetheless. I thanked him for the opportunity, and I told him I did put, fuels in the truck. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I didn't fart on the seat. I didn't piss on the steering wheel. I don't think I hit any potholes. Did everything I was supposed to do. So now, the time is 10:17 a.m. It's Wednesday. The date? What day is it? I don't even know what the date is. It's June 17th, Wednesday. I said that already. See, my mind's not working as well as it should be because I work overnight and it's kind of weird, but I like working overnight. And it seems like at least, while training for the new company, I'll be an overnight guy for that time. But I think once I get released, I'll be working a really weird shift. It's, it's, it's going to be weird. It's going to be kind of the opposite of what I'm doing right now. But, you know, I got my foot in the door, and that's the most I can ask for. It is a step in the right direction. It's one step closer to very solid financial stability. Solid stability. Yeah, so a lot of things are going on nowadays. There's a big move that's going to happen, moving from one apartment to the next. Moving sucks. It's frustrating. Definitely if you are the guy in the relationship, because you're doing a majority, if not all, the heavy lifting. So there's that. I don't really feel bad for leaving this job that I just left because I don't really owe them anything. I don't owe them anything, but while I'm hired, I do at least owe them the promise that I'll do the job that you hired me to do. You know, nothing more, nothing less. It's a transaction. And it's important not to lose sight of that fact that between you and your employer, there's just a transaction that's going on. You're useful until you're not, or until you don't find your employer useful and you explore other options. That's just how it goes. And you know what else is transactional? Relationships, as in romantic relationships. It's transaction. Or at least I think some people might have different views, but I can't really bog myself down with how other people may or may not have views that match my own. But right now, my understanding of relationships is that it is transactional. You know, if you're to be very honest, you give that, you give this, they give that. It's reciprocal. Maybe that's a more appropriate word to use, which is reciprocal. Or the things are better when things are reciprocal. You know, and that's a seed that I'm going to plant for now, I guess. Because I'm planting seeds with the idea or the hope that they will grow and yield something. Like this channel. This channel is a seed that I have planted. It is a digital seed that I have planted where, best case scenario, my expectation is that it will yield something. Ideally, that something would be something positive at least. And that positive thing would be coins, money, some monetary return. Even, okay, so right now my channel, this channel, pays me $0.00. And I'm really interested to discover just how long it will take to get a return of 1 cent, 1 penny. Boy, I'll be ecstatic. That'll be a mind-blowing day to get 1 penny from YouTube. Whatever I have to do to make this happen, you know, of course, I'll find out. And this is a little nugget that I suppose I'll listen back at some point in time in the future. Ideally, hopefully everything goes in a positive direction where I will be able to realize that internet money actually is a thing and it's something I can acquire and grow. So there's that. And one of the things I'm thinking about as far as that goes is, you know, imagine when you clock in and you clock out of work. Let's say you made $100 that day because you're trading your time for money. You're trading physically being somewhere that you either do or don't want to be, and you're getting X amount of dollars. There's an expectation of how much you're going to make, and it doesn't really deviate outside of the norm, whatever that is. Let's say you on a normal week you make $100 and you're happy, or a normal day, whatever, you make $100, you're happy. But if you really bust your ass, you really work hard, shoot, you make $105 or $110. You know, or if you leave early or something like that, you only make $90. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Like there's at least an expectation that you can, you know, that makes sense. It doesn't deviate wildly from that, you know. Anyways, I'm really captivated by this idea of double dipping. And what that is for the time that I am at work, let's say I'm making $100 at work. If I double dip, let's say the second, what I mean is there's another stream of income or another quote unquote job that I'm clocking in and clocking out and doing. And let's say this channel was, you know, so wildly loved, adored, popular, that I could make a, let's say, 30-minute video or 1 hour video, or shorter or longer, whatever. And that video generates me on average, let's say, $100 a month just for that one video. Let me be modest. That one video generates me $50 a month. Well, 10 work days, and I make a video each one of those work days that, it might or might not have to do with my job. I don't really like the idea of, talking about my work too much, getting too personal, or, things like that. But, after 10 days, $50, that's $500 that I'm making recurring revenue for myself while I'm working. So I'm actively being productive working, but I'm double dipping. So, hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. And I want to realize this reality. I see that it's possible, and it doesn't make sense not to try and make my life easier by cutting out this previous bad habit that I've had of starting something, let's say a channel, and just letting it fizzle away because life kicks my butt or something. My attention just goes elsewhere. I'm looking at this. This is like investing. I'm not a good investor. I'm a good investor in a weird way, where I'm not good at investing. I'm not good at letting my money sit somewhere in money form. And waiting. I'm a kind of person where I invest in physical assets, and I use those assets to help me make more money. So I used to have a photography studio in a slightly different life. I would like to have another studio, because having a studio, in hindsight, it was a good time. It was a good time. It was a bad time. It was a bad time because of the way I went about it. I was working in the film industry. I was a lighting guy. I was a grip. I was working on commercials and movies and things of that nature, and that was cool. That's a whole story there. I'll get into that. But what went wrong there is that industry, the film industry, relied, it seemed to me, in my most humble opinion, I could be wrong. If any of my previous coworkers, hear this, that to get ahead, you have to kiss a lot of ass. And I'm not good at that. I'm not good at sucking up. And, I'm not good at doing things that I find to be stupid or useless. And then get told that, no, this is, useful. And, I'm also not cool with being an adult and other adults think that they can, talk crazy, and I'm, just supposed to, nod my head and be like, hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so that was my experience. I wasn't too good at being likable, forcing myself to be likable. The environment was weird for me, at least. I was oftentimes the only black person on set, and it felt weird. It is what it is, but it felt weird. And we'll save that story for another time. That didn't pan out, but it is what it is. It took me a while to get the hint for myself that it was time to switch gears. And for that delay in just figuring things out, or just moving to another thing, I have paid dearly for it. And there's such a hefty opportunity cost, I can only imagine, that I have paid and am paying for being slow and retarded, I guess. Because it wasn't stable. Now I'm doing a stable thing. It's very stable. It makes sense. There's order. And it works. Every now and again, I will get a burst of, man, if only the time was right, or if only this was this way, and I could really be doing things. I could really be making some big moves. And that's bullshit, because if you don't start, you'll just always think about starting. And I'm a chronic overthinker. If thinking was a sport, I'm a professional, dude. I'm in the NFL of thinking. Like, but thinking is useless after a while. After a while, too much thinking doesn't yield anything. There's, I would say, diminishing returns, or just no returns. You get nothing, I guess. And after a while, it just turns into stress, or it turns into depending on what you're thinking about, a dopamine, a little dopamine hit that you get because you're dreaming. You're thinking, oh man, if I imagine how good life would be if I really got that thing up and going like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and stayed consistent. Consistency is key, apparently. Not even apparently. I'm stupid because hindsight is 2020. And if I had a time machine and I can go back knowing what I know right now, of course I'd be a trillionaire. But that's that, and that's gone. But what is here right now is the present. And that's the gift. It is important, Mr. Listener, Miss Listener, whoever you are, whoever's ear is on the other side of this phone, whatever time it is for you, daytime, nighttime, lunchtime, dinner time, snack time. The time to do the thing is most likely now. And you have to turn it into a habit. You have to build a habit. Maintain the habit. If you plant a seed, you got to take care of the seed. You got to water the seed. Seed's going to sprout. It's going to turn into the plant, the thing. You got to water that, take care of that some more, and then you get to reap what you sowed. There might be something I can learn. There might be some farmer philosophy stuff that might aid me, maybe. But the thing is, I've consumed so much information. And I've wasted a lot of time consuming information, thinking that I just need to hear a little bit more of that thing. I don't need to hear a little bit more of that thing. I already know the thing that I'm thinking. It's social media is an echo chamber. The algorithm is pretty good at serving you up what you want. It's pretty good. It's not perfect. You know, sometimes I don't even want to say it's pretty good. You know, in terms of the YouTube algorithm, there's a lot of times it serves me up some stuff that I'm sick of. Like, yeah, I searched up a video for something that's somewhat related to that thing. And sure, after that point, yeah, every now and again, you serve me up some videos to see if I'll like click on those videos. And then after I click on those videos, you start flooding me with now my whole timeline or whatever is that thing. So then the echo chamber is constructed. And you keep on searching up that content until you're sick of being in that echo chamber. I want to wake you up. I've been trying to figure out when is the best time. And that time is always now. But I forget. My mind wanders. But I won't let it wander anymore. Because I've wasted a lot of time. And that's stupid. To just waste time. Due to inaction. I'm talking to myself. To a phone. Because I think it'll be pretty cool to get some feedback from you, Mr. Listener, Miss Listener, that you actually made it this far. Who are you? Because instant gratification is a bitch that has done me so wrong. But really, I do it to myself. But just wanting things to happen at my pace. Life doesn't work out like that. So patience is patience is a skill. And there are times that I'm good at it. There are times that I'm bad at maintaining a strong ability to be patient. So yeah, you on the other side of the abyss, on the other side of the void. I need engagement, brother. I need engagement, sister. A comment, a like, subscribe. I'm going to use the language of YouTubers, I guess. Those 3 words, like, subscribe. Or I guess those 2 words, like and subscribe. I think it's corny as hell. But for now, I guess I'll use that language. I am aiming to hit my rhythm. You know what? Actually, me. I don't mean to make this all about me. I've spoke on this previously. But what can I do? I see the world through my eyes. I hear the world through my ears. And I'm trying to adjust my communication style to not be very self-centered. Because I want to include you. I want this to feel like a conversation between 2 people late at night or at some point in time where you don't really have anything to say. You just want to listen. You're okay with just listening, and I'm okay with just talking. And that's what we're doing. I think, would you agree that money it's like a superpower? Having money is like a superpower. It seems like. Money is a really fucked up concept that we have established in this society that has really fucked with nature. This idea of money, dollars, pounds, euros, it doesn't seem to be a good thing that a good system that we have established. I say we, but I'm not really a part of that collective. I don't really see myself as a part of that collective, or that part of the we that has fucked up the earth in such a way where there's this weird imbalance that's going on. I think birds look at us from the power lines. They look down at us and they're like, the fuck are they doing? Sitting at a stoplight feels like I'm on stage performing for birds. Or I'm just being a weirdo animal. I really wonder what everything looks like from the point of view of a dog. It must be a really weird world for dogs, because the dog is like, dude, I'm with these guys. And the dog is like talking to the birds like, yo, I'm with these guys. They're giving me food, man. And I get to go inside the box. And the birds are like, but you're not free, brother. And then they fly away. Now imagine I just cut this right here, 34 minutes in. But I got more to say. There is a certain individual that I want to connect with, and that is the individual that there is someone there beyond the physical flesh suit that stands before me, or the flesh suit that I see. It's a bird that landed in front of me with red. It's black. It's like a crow, but the shoulders are red. Like and it's like just a small part of the wing is red. It's like it has shoulder pads that are red. This bird is playing for the Falcons. That's crazy. Anyways, it flew away. Real people. I'm afraid that this passiveness, this idea of passiveness that we think that there's nobody out there like us. That's a thought that I have, that I hear that other people have. This is not a good thought, that there's not anyone like me. I don't think I'm that unique that I should be idolized or put on a pedestal or anything like that. I don't want to be idolized or put on a pedestal or anything like that. I want to remain a normal I want to remain a normal person. Ideally, a nobody. You know, I want to be able to go inside of a grocery store, get my milk, not be bothered, and leave. You know, the idea of fame, I don't want that. But what kind of contradicts what I want, my desires, is that I want this channel to be successful because I want to get some coins, dollars, money out of it. Because I want to I want to get that penny. So I can see that, okay, so it took this amount or that amount of work in order to get paid a penny. Interesting. Now, how much work is it going to take to make 2 pennies? Oh, okay, that's cool. Now, 4 pennies, 8 pennies, 16, 32, 64, $1.28, so on and so on. $2.56. Come on now. $5.12. Come on now. $10. What is that? $10, 32. No, I'm sorry. Where's my mind at? That's $10 and it doesn't matter. So my mind went to a place where not too long ago I was reading this book and I was learning about bits and bytes and other things about computers, operating systems, just the guts that make up a computer. Since we live in this world where we're so deep into, we're submerged in this technological world, but things aren't nice. things aren't as nice as I imagine they should be. And that's my fault for having expectations. And it's your fault for having expectations too, for whatever you think the world should be like. But I think there's a consensus, I guess, a minority consensus that the way things are right now, it's weird. It's not healthy. It's not good. Not enjoying this situation that we've made in society where I'm working this hard, but the output, I'm not really getting an equal output for my input. It doesn't seem to be that way, at least. So, what can I do about that? So, my way of doing something about that is the falcon bird is back. Mr. Red Shoulder Pads. He came back to look at me. Okay. So this bird is perched on a man-made object. It's like a traffic barrier where it says like you can't cross here. Obviously there's no road. But the bird's sitting there and I feel like it was looking at me. Like, yo, there's one of those movie things that those animals are traveling in. They get inside of those and they go places. They go pretty fast. One of those things killed my friend Pete the other day. And I wonder what the bird is thinking. That bird's probably sad. Like, yo, I'm sorry that would the bird be sad? I don't think the bird would. I think the bird would be confused, actually. Let me get my mind right. The bird would be confused. Mr. Birdman, is like, yo, what the hell are y'all doing? But it's kind of cool that I can get this close to y'all and not be fucked with. I can just see this thing that y'all got going on, but you're kind of fucking with the trees, brother. And the ground. Like, what are y'all doing? And then there's things that y'all don't eat that y'all throw on the ground, and I don't want to eat it. It's not good for me. The fuck are y'all doing? Anyways, there's probably a ladybird over there. I'm out. Flew away. Engagement. So, imagine this. I am actively working on getting better at maintaining engagement because guess why? You're here. And I thank you for that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But I want to know what's going on in your head. Treat the comment section like it's like you're texting me, dude. What's up? What do you think of that? Type shit, you know? How did these words make you feel? Am I corny? Shit. Am I lame? Am I smart? Am I a genius? Am I onto something? What's going on? Because I am trading my time right now. I'm investing my time right now. And You are consuming the fruit that this seed has yielded. You're welcome. But do you see what I'm talking about? That's how easy it is. Just start. Just start right now. Don't worry about all the other stuff. Just work on that muscle of consistency. You know, just like whatever language you speak. Aren't you glad you already speak that? You're so fluent at that language that you don't have to really think about the words that you're trying to say in a way that someone who is learning your language would have to pause and think, and they either have the words or they don't at all. So then they have to resort to either communicating in a different way or, you know, whatever the case is. It is an automatic thing that you don't even have to think about. You're saying the words, you're communicating, you're doing the thing. And whatever skill that you're trying to develop, you need to work on that muscle. It's the only way to make that muscle strong. And you don't want to stop working on that muscle because that muscle will atrophy. So what it feels like to start something and then stop and then leave it alone for a while and then try and come back later at a different time. I have done this many times because I am the king of indecision. I am King Indy, I suppose. Learn from me, young people. If you're younger than me, I'm 33 right now. If you're younger than me, hopefully I can teach you something and help you out. If you're older than me and you're listening to this like, damn, it took you that long? Hey, I'm working on it. But you'll be surprised how fast I'm going to catch on this time. Because I get it now. I understand it now. I'm working on it. I am doing it. And I am discarding the self-limiting beliefs that have derailed my previous pursuits of making a penny. What am I going to buy with that penny? Dude, with that penny, you know, Uncle Sam's definitely going to take that penny, but I'm going to get it first. I'm going to get that penny first. I want to hand that penny to Uncle Sam and be like, I understand it now. You know? Does that make me a capitalist? Does that make me like the part of the collective we that I'm like, yo, why y'all so... There's other things to enjoy out of life, man. Money's not everything, which is a cope. It's very important in this. To play this game that we're playing, money is important. And I want to play this game well. I want to get better at this game. Because I've been playing this game for a while. I've been a low level for a while. And I want to level up. And I want to see what could be. What's on the other side? What's on the other side of the dream? What's on the other side of the effort? What's on the other side of the long nights and the stress? You know, just what's on the other side of the disappointment? What's on the other side of the uneventfulness? You know what I'm saying? God speaks a language you have to really tune your mind, tune your body, tune yourself to hear what God is saying. What God is saying has already been said. It already happened. You're just really slow to figure it out. You're having trouble hearing the message. But just know you are loved. You do matter. What you do matters. And you have more power than you think you do. Understand what I'm saying? Go outside. Look at the sky, man. Look at the clouds. Look at the blue sky. Look at the sun. Look at the trees, the grass, the birds. Feel the rain on your skin. Feel the heat from the sun. Breathe in air. We are one with nature. We are one with God. We are one with the source. We are not external. We are all one thing. Don't forget. Don't lose sight of that. What you are is something miraculous, something amazing, something unfathomable. And you got to give yourself credit. Organize your mind. If it is messy, let me tell you right now, organize your mind. Bring some order to your thoughts. Diminish the chaos. So, for you, Mr. Listener, Miss Listener, thank you. You're really patient. And that must mean something. Gold star, pat yourself on the back, digital high five. You there. Who, me? Yeah, you. Good job. And you're welcome. You are welcome for this delicious digital dope that I just served you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you hooked, baby. I'm gonna get you scratching your neck. I'm gonna get you waking up late at night wondering when the next hit's gonna be. And that kind of makes me feel a little guilty, because I don't want you to get obsessed with my content. It's like I do, but I don't. But I'm gonna make it anyways, because I'm trying to make that penny. I want to see if that penny. I, I'm. I already have the penny. I don't even have to wait for it. I don't have to wait for it anymore, because now is forever. What has happened already. What will happen has happened already. That's the vibration I'm on. That's where I'm at. And the signal is only getting stronger, baby. What's the right thing to do? You know what the right thing to do is. Just do it. You know? So, tomorrow isn't promised. Don't forget that. But that also doesn't mean don't slip into a hedonistic lifestyle. Or do whatever, do whatever. All we can do in this world is experience. And I don't think there's good or bad. There just is. Whatever side you're on is the side you're on, And it is what it is. How can you have north without south? How can you have heads without tails? How can you have this without that? You understand? It's all connected. What are you waiting for? You waiting for me to say something? Let me tell you this. Don't apply your expectations to me, because I'm me. And what you think is what you think. So don't be disappointed if I don't live up to whatever is going on in your mind for what you think, I should be. I just am, baby. And that's how it is. Accept me. Or experience me. Consume me. Because I don't want to try to bullshit anybody, man. It takes too much energy to do that. And I think I've given enough energy to bullshitting. And I have learned that is very taxing. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you what to do besides turn off that TV, brother. That TV's not good for you. Watch somebody that is watching TV. Look at their face. And you'll know what I mean.